Hey everyone, welcome back to Great Northwest Weaponry. This is Thomas, and today we are taking a look at the VZ52, also known as the CZ52. This is a Czech gun, manufactured or designed by the brothers Jan and Jaroslav Krochovil. Disclaimer, I do not speak any Slavic languages. I may have murdered the pronunciation. I apologize if I did. Please don't kill me. This is a really cool pistol, a very unique pistol, and kind of one that has kind of gone not talked about enough, I think. Like, there are plenty of people who are aware of its existence, but it hasn't been given enough love. This is basically was the Czech military's answer to the Tokarev TT-33. As I mentioned, this is designed in 1952. It's the term VZ52 literally means model of 1952. VZ means Vzor. Again, sorry about the pronunciation, I don't know. But Vzor means model. So, model 1952, CZ was simply the manufacturer, Česká Zbrojovka. And it's an awesome gun. It's a 8-round, single stack, 7.62 Tokarev, of which is a hot freaking round. And it's weird because this gun is a delayed roller block blowback, or delayed roller blowback that I believe it's the only pistol that functions with delayed roller block. It's just not something that you see in actual handguns. You might see it in something like an MP5, of which is legally a pistol. It's not a pistol. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It is not a pistol. This is a pistol. This is what a pistol looks like. And this is a very cool pistol. I've wanted one of these for a while, but this is not mine. This actually belongs to my friend Daniel. Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
Thank you for letting me borrow your gun. It is an awesome piece. About 200,000 of these were produced from 1952 to 1954. And it was made to replace a multitude of guns. The Czechs, before the release of this gun, were fielding several guns from several countries, including but not limited to guns that they were making, guns the Germans were making, guns the Russians were making, etc., in at least 3 different calibers. They standardized on the 7.62 Tokarev, which was kind of because of political pressures from above. The gun was actually originally meant to be a 9mm, but at the time, Czechoslovakia was part of the USSR. They didn't really have a lot of options in some of these things, and the higher-ups in the USSR said, make it the standard Soviet round, 7.62 Tokarev. So, you get this beauty. Let's go ahead and take this thing over to the table and take a closer look. So, there we go. 1953 date, and that mark right there, it's kind of a poor strike, but that's across swords. That is the Czech military property mark. This marking was introduced in 1948. Disassembly of this gun is some parts very easy, some parts very hard. So let's go ahead and extract the mag. This is your standard European style mag release. You can just release a little pressure and pull down on these tabs here. So release some pressure, pull down on the tabs, and the whole thing should just come right off the top. There we go. Now there's that delayed roller lock. I kept on calling it roller block. It's roller lock. Just misspoke there. So here's your frame. Getting this out is kind of interesting. I should be able to get it out just fine, but getting it back in is even more difficult. Now, as per the Czech military manuals, you can do this with the magazine. This is something that not always recommended because you could damage the mag, but this is not an original mag. This is, we'll get back to that, but this appears to be a aftermarket. So you're going to lock in this notch right here, and you've got to depress pretty aggressively and pull, and then pull up, and then it just pops out. So not particularly terrible for the removal. Here's your spring, barrel, there's your rollers, and pulling this down is actually what causes the rollers to fall into place. We'll look at that when we try to put this back in here. So reinstallation. Going to go in and kind of get it started. Now for the fun part. I'm going to grab here and see this. Look closely. You can see the rollers fall into place. There we go. That actually went very smoothly. I'm surprised I was having trouble with it earlier. Putting the slide back on is a piece of cake. This gun does have a decocker. The decocker is known to break, so it's not necessarily the best decocker in the world. This is safe, and then push it the rest of the way to decock, and then, you know, red is fire. These guns come in two finishes, a black parkerized finish and a gray parkerized finish. The gray parkerized finish would look like what we see on this original mag here, or on our old friend, the CZ27. You may have seen the video of this. We did a demo on this previously. I mentioned that this gun was made to replace a multitude of guns that were in the field at the time. This is one of them. So, yeah, our old friend, the CZ27, making an appearance here. Goodbye, CZ27. Gray parkerized finish is also referred to as a zinc phosphate finish. And then the black parkerized finish is referred to as a manganese phosphate finish. The manganese phosphate finish was done later when these guns were kind of restored. This happened all throughout their life, just depending on the condition that they were in. The black is a little more sturdy than the gray, but if you find one in the original gray, they are maybe a little more valuable, definitely more collectible. If you see, like at a gun show, a multitude of these laying around, and one or two are gray, go for the gray. They're not as common. But generally speaking, you can have these guns for fairly good price. We've got holster here. I don't know if this is the original or an original holster for sure, but it is a correct holster. So that's a cool little ditty to go along with it. And you've got the mean frickin' 7.62 Tokarev. Very hot round, and hence the reason for the delayed roller locking system, because 7.62 hits hard enough that you would possibly be breaking parts inside the gun with how aggressively the slide would be slapping back without those rollers. So that's pretty much why those are there. So yeah, very cool gun. Let's go ahead and shoot this thing a little more. The CZ or VZ82 was not taken out of service until 30 years after they were released, actually. They served all the way up until 1982, until the release of the VZ82, which is chambered in 9mm Makarov, of which was, at that point, the standard Soviet cartridge, which was pretty much the end of the Soviet era. But this is a great gun. This is an awesome example of just old comm block technology. It is a beast. It is everything that you expect from comm block technology. It functions with brutal efficiency. Let's go ahead and put one more mag through it, then some closing thoughts. It kind of hits all over the place. The sights aren't particularly reliable. Dropping the mag, by the way, you release the mag to drop the slide. It doesn't always drop on its own when you do that. This gun actually doesn't particularly like locking on the original mag, so I'm surprised it locked open at all. But yeah, these are also known for having a pretty fragile firing pin. You do not want to dry fire this gun. If you do, you will shatter the firing pin. They're very brittle. You're probably going to shatter the firing pin anyway just from shooting it. Luckily, it's not hard to get another one. So, I believe this one actually does not have its original firing pin in it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so, perfect example of what I mean there. One thing you will notice with these, because of the roller lock system and everything, the bore axis on this is extremely high. So you really feel the recoil. Or it's at least weird. I don't know that, like, it's high, but it's not, like, I've seen worse. But here's the barrel, here's my finger. So you've got some distance there. You really feel the recoil because of that, because this is a large, heavy framed pistol. It is fascinating. And a very cool piece. I'm glad to have got the chance to take a look at it here. Real quick, because this is super easy, grip removal. See this little metal strap? Just grab that with your thumbnail, peel it off, and then you can remove the grips. It's very easy, very easily done, very easily undone, just as long as you have this oriented the correct way. It's a pain if you put it on upside down. I did that about 10 minutes ago. So, yeah, very cool piece. I would love to have one of my own someday. Hopefully I will. If I do, you will find out about it one way or another. They'll probably be popping up in videos again at some point. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been Thomas with Great Northwest Weaponry, and I'll see you next time.